All right, so we're moving on to a brand new lesson today that might seem a little bit confusing, but don't complicate it. If you don't complicate it, it'll be super simple. Okay, so today, students will be able to simplify numeric and algebraic expression using the law of exponents, including integral and rational exponents. Pay very close attention to these vocabulary words. Be sure you read and understand what every single one of them mean. Okay, so an exponential function we went over is anything to the power of x. Okay, this is an exponential pair of function. It's e to the x power. It goes like that. Okay, a power. A power is any expression that's something to the something power. So 4 to the 6th power. That is a power expression. The exponent is the 6. So it's the one that's being raised to. The base is the 4 here. The one that's being raised to a power. Okay, so you need to know these. Multiplying powers with the same base. When you multiply powers by the same base, you're adding their exponents. Okay, so 2 to the 5th times 2 to the 3rd, 5 plus 3 is 8. X to the 6 times x to the negative 2, 6 minus 2 is 4. Okay. Then dividing powers with the same base, you're subtracting. So you'll subtract m minus n. So 6 to the 4th over 6 to the 1st, 4 minus 1 is 3. Z to the 10th, z to the negative 2, 10 minus negative 2, which makes a plus, is 12. Raising a power to a power, that's when you multiply m times n. So 4 times 3 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, but first you do the 3 to the 3rd. Oops, sorry. Let me go back there. Okay. Then compound interest, we'll go over that later, but this is really, really, really interesting. Okay, exponential growth is when it goes up. Exponential decay is when it's going down. All right, so let's look at the notes for today. All right, so the notes for today. Adding and subtracting monomials. A monomial is just one. Mono means one. Okay, monomial means one. Okay, so combining like terms. Do not change common variables and exponentials. Okay, so right here. 9x squared y minus 10x squared y. X squared y is their last name. Since they're the same in both, you're just going to combine them. 9 minus 10 is a negative 1. We don't have to write the 1. X squared y. So it'd be negative x squared y. Okay. Number 2 says subtract 6w from 8w. You're subtracting this from this. So that means this one needs to go first. So 8w minus 6w. Well, their last name is both w, so 8 minus 6 is 2w. Okay? So now, let's look at the exponents. Here's the product rule. Okay, product rule means x to the a power times x to the b power. What you're actually going to do is x to the a plus b power. Okay, you're going to add those exponents. Sometimes that can be hard to see. So what I want you to do is actually to write it fully out. So this is h to the 2nd power, so you put 2 h's. Okay, then this is h to the 6th power, so put 6 h's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many h's are there total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's h to the 8th. However, you also could have just added 6 plus 2 is 8. Okay? Now, when we do number 2, you need to multiply that negative 2 times 7 first. Take out the whole numbers first. Negative 2 times 7. And then you have 2 a's, 1 b. 3 a's, 1 b. So now negative 2 times 7 is negative 14. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a's. And we have 1, 2 b's. Now, that would have also worked with negative 2 times 7, negative 14. Always do the whole numbers first. Then a to the squared times a to the 3rd, 3 plus 2 is 5. Then b1 makes 2. Okay? So that's how that works. Now, the power rule, okay? when you have x to the a power to the b power, what that's doing is it's x to a times b. Okay? So here's how you can write that out long way in case you're confused by the rule. So we have x 2 times, right? How many times do we do x 2 times? 3. So x 2 times, that's 1. 2, 3. How many x's do we have total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And also look, 2 times 3 is 6. Okay? Now, when we have the whole number, you have to raise that to the power first. So that's negative 2 squared. Okay? Then we have m 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many times do we do that? 2 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we have 3 more. 1, 2, 3. So, negative 2 squared makes a positive 4, because negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. And then how many m's do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. M to the 13th. It's an M. Okay, and you could have also done 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3, 13. This is why I say to write it out, because sometimes writing it out just makes it a whole lot easier. All right, so let's look at the quotient rule. Okay, the quotient rule. Quotient rule says x to the a over x to the b is the same as saying x to a minus b. Okay, that's the rule here. So let's look at number 1. First, do the whole numbers. 27 divided by 42. Type that in your calculator. We got a decimal, so what do? Hit math, enter, enter, and it's 9 over 14. So we have 9 over 14. Okay? Then on top, we have 5 x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On bottom, we have 1. Okay? When you're dividing like this, what I say is play the matching game. We have 1x here and 1x here, so cross those out. So in our answer, we have 9 over 14. How many x's are left? There's 4 on top. So 9x to the 4th over 14. Okay, you could have also done x to the 5th minus 1 will give you 4. Okay, so now let's look at number 2. We have y twice. Okay, and how many times do we do y twice? 2 times. Okay, and then we have 4 y's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cross out, cross out, cross out, cross out. They all crossed out, so we're just left with 1. Okay? Because remember, there's an automatic 1 over 1 over here. So we're just left with 1. Now, the negative exponent rule. The negative exponent rule. Okay? If you have x to the negative a, what that actually says is 1 over x to the a. Okay? So let's look at number 1 over here as an example. It says we have negative 5, x to the negative 2. I always circle anything with a negative exponent because that's going to go to the other side. So we still have negative 5 on top because everything's always on top. And then x to the negative 2 just comes down here and it becomes a positive, x squared. Okay? Now, let's look at this one. 4 divided by 8 will simplify into 1/2, correct? Okay, so we have 1/2. How many k's are on top? 1, 2. How many k's are on bottom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play our matching game. Okay, so we have 1/2 still. We have no k's on top, but we have 3 k's on bottom. So 1/2, or 1 over 2k to the 3rd. Now this one's really good, okay? You ready? This is my favorite one because it's the easiest by far. Anything raised to the 0 power is always 1. Type in your calculator any number you want, any number at all, and raise it to the 0 power. You will always get 1. Okay? So on this one, we have 7 times x to the 0 power. So that's the same as saying 7 times 1 is what? 7. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1. Okay. Now here, we have, remember this means to multiply, right? 4 times 2 is 8. And then w to the 8. When these cross out, they make 0, right? W to the 0, which would also be 1, like I told you up here. Okay? Gives you 1. So now let's look at some examples on your worksheet. I'm just going to look at a few of those with you. You're doing a maze. You must show me all your work because obviously someone can solve the maze and you can just copy it. Duh, I know that. So you have to show me all your work. I want to see it all. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. You have, right here is where you begin. So you would color that in. This is where we begin. You need to solve this. Okay, so let's come over here and solve it. First, take out the whole numbers. Okay, so 2 times 3 is 6. So we know 6 is the whole number. We have x to the 4th, 1, 2, 3, 4, and x to the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 6, okay, and then count your x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. X to the 9th. Or you could have just added them, right? So which one of these says 6x to the 9th? Oh, this one down here does. So you color that. Okay? And then you continue to solve other ones, okay? Just go back to the rules and the other examples we did on your paper. If you need any help, call me or Miss Jenkins over and we can help you out, okay? We'll be doing this for the next 3 days. So be sure you get it so that you can do really well on your quizzes and then do really well on your test. I know you can do this, just don't overcomplicate it. Let us know if you have any questions. Good luck!